And it sounds like the school itself can look very different depending on what you're walking into. Maybe it is a physical building, much as a regular school would look.
Yeah.
Maybe it's at somebody's house. Maybe it's heavily remote and virtual in nature.
Yep.
There must be a lot of different delivery models that get encompassed.
Yeah, absolutely. There are. And some of them are even like, hybrid models, like 2 days a week in the building, 3 days a week online. Yeah, multiple different ways of doing it. Facilities, it could be like sharing with a church. It could be in the basement. It could be an old yoga studio. There's just so many different ways that it's happening. It's really exciting.
Now, I became aware of micro schools the way I imagine many people did around the time of the pandemic, right? I
Yeah.
think we
Hmm.
saw this model become popular as people were looking at more flexible education models, more tech focused education models, self directed, student centered models. Would I be correct in saying that this model has grown in the last few years since the pandemic?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The amount of people looking at microschools, I think it was accelerated by the pandemic. It was already picking up a lot of steam before the pandemic.
Hmm.
The homeschool percentage of homeschoolers, I'm not going to get the numbers exactly right, but it was probably like double. I think went from like 3 to 6% or 4 to 8% before the pandemic. And then it increased more during the pandemic, obviously. And then there was a question around like, oh, is this going to keep going now that we're kind of getting back into brick and mortar schools and back to the normal way of life? And it did continue, and it did kind of accelerate and increase in terms of popularity.